We do believe, however, that it has miles to go because institutional interest in Bitcoin alone, which is the largest cryptocurrency out there, is, we think, going to add up to $500,000 to the price of Bitcoin.
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, I'll be reacting to comments from Ark Invest Cathie Wood explaining why she believes Bitcoin could grow to over $500,000 in value, why the average price of a new electric vehicle will plummet over the next 5 years, and why Ark Invest are super bullish on Coinbase stock. Spoiler alert, yesterday we've learned that Ark Invest bought around $250 million of Coinbase stock. So let's get into the video. And by the way, since I know there's a lot of crypto lovers watching and people who like free stuff, it's your lucky day. For a limited time, you can get up to $250 in free crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. It also helps out the channel. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. Unless you don't like free stocks, that is. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Yes, well, this year we started off very strongly. Innovation was on a hot streak, continued from last year, and then as interest rates doubled, nearly doubled over 1 quarter time, there was this fear of inflation and high valuation oriented stocks, and so we were hit with a bout of volatility. And you're absolutely right, Amber. Nothing has changed for us. So what actually happened is, if we use our 5-year price targets, instead of expecting a 15% compound annual rate of return, no promises here, compliance will be happy that I say that, instead of 15%, which is where we were at the peak in February, we now believe that our portfolios will deliver closer to 25% compound annual rate of return. Again, no promises, but all I'm saying is the bout of volatility did not change our price targets. They gave us a great opportunity to concentrate towards our highest conviction names.
Fascinating to hear from Cathie Wood there that she believes that Ark Invest will now achieve over 25% annual rates of return over the next 5 years compared to their previous hurdle rate of 15%. 15% per year over half a decade, you will double your money. 25%, you will triple your money. So Ark Invest expecting, again, Cathie Wood was very careful to point out no promises, no guarantees, but Cathie Wood expecting that Ark Invest will triple the money in their ETFs in the next 5 years on average, or more, triple or more in 5 years. Not bad.
Talk to us about the methodology of those price targets, because 5 years is a long time, especially for a company like Tesla. You've got a $3,000 price target in 2025. I mean, just using basic CFA modeling, how do you arrive at that? What is your methodology to get to these numbers with companies that are new, unproven, and working in completely new areas that didn't exist a couple of years ago?
Right. Thank you for that question, Amber. Our research starts from the top down. We take a white sheet of paper, first principles research. How is an autonomous vehicle going to work? That was a question we started with in 2014, for example. And what we are doing is following these new technologies, and in this case, first, breakthroughs in battery technology. And we're trying to figure out, are we at the point where the technology is ready and the costs are low enough to launch an exponential growth trajectory? And in the case of electric vehicles, for example, with Elon Musk's advances in battery technology, particularly battery pack systems, and now batteries as part of the infrastructure of the car, we see costs dropping to such a low point that in 5 years, the average electric vehicle, we believe, will cost $18,000, that's US dollars, compared to a Toyota Camry, which will still cost somewhere in the $25,000 to $26,000 range.
This has profound implications. If Ark Invest are right, and the average price of a new electric vehicle is around $18,000 in 5 years, and in 5 years the average price of a new internal combustion engine vehicle is still around $25,000, about 40% more expensive, game over. It's game over. You literally need to be brain dead to be buying an ICE vehicle at that point. Now, I know today there's a hurdle. Some people don't do the calculations and figure out that over the long term, even a high sticker price electric vehicle oftentimes is much cheaper over the lifetime of ownership than an equivalent internal combustion engine vehicle. A lot of consumers don't actually do the numbers and do the thinking. It hurts too much, so they don't realize. But even so, in 5 years' time, if the sticker price of an ICE car is 40% more expensive, you have to be brain dead not to go for the electric vehicle. At that point, literally ICE is over, literally over, done and dusted in just 5 years. As I said, profound implications.
So what we think we're going to see is exponential growth in the auto sector when it comes to electric vehicles for the first time in 100 years. Autos have been in a very mature state. This new technology is causing exponential growth in a sector that most people think is very mature. So it's a different way of thinking about the world, looking for these new exponential growth opportunities, modeling them out, seeing how fast they are likely to happen as costs and prices fall.
All right, let's talk about the new shiny object today, which is Coinbase. The reference price is $250 per share. We're getting indications that it could open at $340 per share. Do you have a price target for Coinbase?
We do. I am reticent to give it. It is far above where it's going to open, we think. Now, there are a lot of assumptions in there, and you want to talk about volatility, just look at a chart of Bitcoin. So there's going to be there are going to be great opportunities between now and 5 years to buy on dips, we believe. I have no idea where it's going to open. We were trying to figure that out ourselves today. We do believe, however, that it has miles to go because institutional interest in Bitcoin alone, which is the largest cryptocurrency out there, is, we think, going to add up to $500,000 to the price of Bitcoin.
Do I even need to add anything? Cathie Wood and Ark Invest there suggesting that they believe that Bitcoin could add another $500,000 to its current value. That would price Bitcoin at over $550,000 per Bitcoin. Decent. And the crazy thing is, I actually don't disagree. Now, I don't have a huge level of certainty, nor do I have a crystal ball. But my best guess, my hunch, my intuition, my gut feel, if more and more people, institutions and corporations are buying Bitcoin, I think that's going to put upward pressure on the price. And when you do the numbers and look at some of the percentages, okay, if they put 5% of the balance sheet on Bitcoin, blah, 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 the numbers get kind of bananas, like just absurd. Now, again, I don't have a high level of confidence and I don't have a crystal ball, but I won't be surprised if we see this play out. Not a prediction, but yeah, I'm not going to be surprised whatsoever if Bitcoin's $500,000 in 5, 6, 7, 8 years time. Could be even $1 million or more. Could also be worth 10 cents. It could have crashed completely. Who knows? If I'm being honest, I rate the doomsday scenario in which the value of Bitcoin collapses as exceedingly unlikely at this stage. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I say, extreme volatility. But I don't see an enormous collapse as being very likely. Could happen, maybe some new superior technology comes and just absolutely blows everything away. But my gut feel, again, just going off intuition here, Bitcoin over probably the medium to long term, best guess, it's probably a six-figure asset, somewhere between 100,000 and maybe 999,000. It's about as close as I can get to a good guess. But I think somewhere in that range, reasonably probable over the longer term. But again, I don't want to say super long term because if something comes along and just absolutely destroys everything, it's superior in every possible way, then hey, Bitcoin could literally become worthless overnight. But I'm giving that extremely low odds.
When I say that, we've based this on a study focusing on what institutions are looking for. They're looking for low correlations of returns. This is a new asset class. So institutions are interested, they are moving in. And if they add up to 5% in their asset allocation to Bitcoin, that alone could be up to a $500,000 increase in the price. So we're at the very beginning of what we believe is going to be a long and exciting journey.
Okay, let me see if I can prod you a little bit more to give us specifics on a price target for Coinbase. You're reticent to maybe give us a number, but can you give me a ballpark on the percent gains that you think you could see, using your 5-year approach?
This is well above our minimum hurdle rate of return of $15, even if it does open. I mean, a 15% per year, even if it does open as high as $250 or $300, even at those prices, given our assumptions. Now, again, we expect tremendous volatility in this. It's going to be unstable in terms of investors and analysts understanding what Coinbase actually is. It makes most of its money on the trading of Bitcoin and Ether. Those are the two biggest, and it's going into a lot of other cryptocurrencies and crypto assets. So it's got a lot of open-ended opportunities, but right now they're making about 70 basis points on each trade, on each dollar traded, and we think there will be fee compression, as there always is in the institutional world, and as competition increases. So I think the opportunities in this stock, to the extent there are dips out there, will come around the idea of, oh my goodness, how much is competition going to drive these fees down? And we do think the compression will be to 50 cents within the next 5 years, or 50 basis points. So you'll watch the dynamic: volume explosion, fee compression. Again, we'll pick our spots around volatility.
So it sounds like you're saying this could be a more buy the dip opportunity, and that you wouldn't necessarily be chomping at the bit to get in at the IPO price.
Well, we're not allowed to say what we are or are not going to do at any point in time. You'll see our trades at the end of the day, and so you'll know what we've done.
And it turns out that Ark Invest dropped $250 million buying Coinbase stock with 3 of its ETFs in its very first day. I suspect we'll see Ark Invest continue to load the boat with more Coinbase stock over the coming days and weeks, and especially to buy and sell around volatility. And of course, it's very likely, not certain, but very likely that the volatility of Bitcoin and the crypto markets in general will have an outsized influence on the Coinbase stock price, at least over the short term.
If you do watch our trading, what you'll understand about Ark is we're extremely opportunistic. We'll buy the dips, and we are also, at the same time, very optimistic about how far Coinbase has to go in terms of delivering returns relative to our 5-year target. So stay tuned.
All right, stay tuned. Does it have 4 digits or 5 digits, the price target?
Well, if we're right on where Bitcoin is going, just Bitcoin alone, based on institutional investors getting involved and based on institutions diversifying some of their cash into Bitcoin, it has a lot of room on the upside.
It's hard not to notice how incredibly bullish Cathie Wood and Ark Invest are on Coinbase stock. We've seen that in their actions, dropping $250 million on Coinbase stock on day one. I suspect we'll see a lot more buying in the subsequent days and weeks as well. Cathie Wood also suggesting that Coinbase far exceeds their minimum hurdle rate of return. Lots of other bullish points as well, and I hate to say it, but I find it hard to disagree. Now, I'm not one to make that many predictions. I do try to stay in my lane, and I have to admit, this is a lot more at a macro, big picture viewpoint rather than down in the weeds, but I won't be surprised if over the next 5 to 10 years we see Coinbase stock, in terms of the valuation of the company, 5x or 10x. And I know that sounds kind of insane. I'm predicting that it could grow as much or even more than Tesla stock over the next 10 years. I find it hard to believe I'm saying this, but I also find it hard to argue against the point. If the thesis is right, that Bitcoin goes up in value and continues to increase, there's more and more companies, corporations, and individuals buying Bitcoin, and Coinbase can maintain a comparable market share to today in terms of the total trading in the crypto market, they are going to be printing stupid amounts of money, like just unbelievable amounts of money. So am I buying Coinbase stock, or have I already bought Coinbase stock? Well, just a quick bit of background for those that don't know. In 2013 and 14, I previously owned over 100 Bitcoin. They were involuntarily liberated from my possession. I'll share the story of how that happened soon. Rip my Bitcoin. So I've been actually interested in cryptocurrency for some time. In 2017, I signed up as a user of Coinbase, and since then, they've clearly become a leader in this space. No question, the best place to buy and sell cryptocurrency as I record this. Maybe that changes in the future, but right now, Coinbase have got it down pat. So I'm actually really bullish on the company. Just one problem. I currently have no money, and I also spent all the money I was meant to keep saved for my tax bill on Tesla stock in 2019, and then paid my tax with debt because I borrowed money to pay my tax. And then in 2020, I kind of did the same thing. And so I owe a lot of tax, and I have a little money because it's all in Tesla stock. Otherwise, honestly, I'd be loading the boat. If it gets under 300, I'd go bananas. Now, again, I don't know what's going to happen to the stock in the future, but I'm just telling you guys right now, honestly, if I had cash and I didn't have a massive tax liability, of course I could sell Tesla stock, but there's no way I'm doing that. I would actually be buying Coinbase stock in these levels, in low 300s, a little bit under 300, going absolutely bananas. And I think, yeah, 5 to 10x over the next 5 to 10 years is a possibility, not a certainty. By the way, guys, if you're not already a user of Coinbase, you can get $10 in free Bitcoin signing up using my link in the description. Helps out the channel. You get something for free as well. But honestly, if you're thinking of investing in a company, don't use my link. I don't care, whatever. Sign up, get an account, get used to the application, learn what it's like from the user's point of view, as well as looking at the business model itself and thinking about the wider crypto industry yourself, including what the future of Bitcoin looks like in your mind, and then maybe act based on that. I, for one, am very bullish on Coinbase stock over the long term, but I suspect it's going to be an extremely bumpy ride. If you thought Tesla stock was volatile, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me know in the comments below. Do you, like Cathie Wood, believe that Bitcoin could grow in value by over $500,000? And have you purchased any Coinbase stock? Or if not, are you interested in Coinbase stock, and what's your entry price? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you'd like up to $250 in free crypto bonuses with BlockFi, use the link in the description. You can also get 2 free stocks with WeBull and a free stock with Stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.